like if Tuskar rotates with the Grimstroke, they will kill the Axe. But like last game, if you saw the Tuskar, if he rotated with the Oracle, I don't really see the kill probability there. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like they don't. It's not a lot of the damage difference is like pretty significant in comparison. I have an Ember pickup now. It's pretty nice. It's like they're picking heroes that is like very like last game. It's like Axe. It's really difficult to jump onto like a Puck or an Ember Spirit, as an Axe, because it's like if you have fast fingers, you should be able to phase shift or like jump out of him or sleight of fist him before he's able to get a call off.
Yeah. Ember did get a little bit of a nerf here. It looks like Searing Chain's cooldown has been increased from 11, 10, 12, 8 to 13, 12, 11, 10.
2 seconds.
2 seconds. What do you think? Impactful?
That's pretty. It's pretty nice because it's like when you're level 15, you get that plus 1 second Searing Chain, so that actually helps because I feel like in the team fights later in the game, like you're just permanently locked down from this Ember, so that extra 2 seconds is pretty nice.
Ricky unchanged and not touched in this patch, actually. That seems a little surprising for how much playtime he's had, but looks like the Frog has ignored him this time.
I'm curious what they're going to do with the Weaver. The offlane? With a 4? Yeah, I guess offlane and 4 Shaker. Oh, I know, but they have an Axe.
Weaver Axe and a 4 position. It's either... Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's been one other team recently that did the 5 position Weaver. It may have been FURIA, actually. It was Moxie and Jenkins casting the game, so it was Pro Series match, I think of yesterday or day before. I know it's slipping my mind right now. It may have been FURIA, but there was definitely a 5 position Weaver that game.
Well, one of these heroes is a 5.
Yeah, and this seems greedy. Both of them like kind of need something going to. Yeah, I don't know.
And Puppy's pulled off the 5 Axe a few times in the past. So.
All right, yeah, I like that. That would be fun.
OG pulled off the 5 Shaker. Like each team has their own identity, right? So it's like. What is FURIA? What's FURIA? Like I said, Weaver, you said it can be a 5 too. I can see it.
If Weaver goes top or Shaker just roaming around, he blocks off the lane, lets Axe do his own thing, and instead Weaver's dealing with the unknown safe laner at the time, I guess.
I mean, it doesn't make sense the last pick of position 5, which was like I was like Ricky can go mid, Weaver can go safe lane, and Axe Shaker off lane.
Yeah.
But last picking of 5, he's like. That doesn't feel great. Well, no, business as last pick, actually.
Yeah, they get last pick, but you're not. Yeah, I'm sure they're not gonna like counter last pick if it is a 5 pick from FURIA here. It really seems like they're probably got their supports picked up in mind, but like you mentioned, since they do not get last pick, they're gonna reveal that for business to fully use their minute of reserve time to analyze and appropriately pick for.
They need a range hero though. That's what I feel for sure.
For FURIA?
Yeah.
Skywrath
okay.
Well, is that the 5 though, or is that a mid, or what is
it's
that?
a support.
Okay.
So they last pick their support. I don't know where they're going with this draft, to be honest, but it's a pretty. It's a 5 Shaker. It has to be a 5 Shaker. This is really good. I just see Skywrath needing levels. I think he can do a lot this game, especially because he wants to play with the Axe as well in the offlane. And these two have very strong synergy, a lot of combo. I think Weaver Shaker in the safe lane. I think that makes sense. And then Ricky just going mid against Ember.
So what is this? So if Skywrath and Axe are good together in a lane, does that encompass the creep pulling shenanigans? So Skywrath going to be hanging with Axe to protect it, or is he taking the lane on his own?
They can do it's open, right? If the lane is too difficult, they can cut. But the fact that Axe has his battle hunger, Skywrath has I don't know, sometimes they get the W, sometimes they get the Q. It's really player preference, and depending on the lane. But they have a lot of spam for the lane too to like out regen the position 5 and 1. And CK is a good pick. So now you kind of want to consider cutting.
CK.
So that was a good pick because of this. Like business identified, like I need some sort of sustain in the lane, and now they have a lot of kill threat because they have a Grimstroke as well. So they might try to pressure a little bit, and after the first wave or two, and then decide to cut because CK is one of a very very good hero versus Skywrath. and of course the Axe. Because if you ever call him, he's just gonna lifesteal and
Is CK
really
going to a
feel good.
side lane and Moo is going to take his
Oh,
Ember mid?
I guess move.
Or is
This is
Nine
open
going
picks,
mid with
man.
CK here?
This is just an open pick draft. This is open draft, man.
It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
I
who's
guess.
good with CK? I am. All right, well, you take it and you go side lane. Oh, now, small note, CK was buffed. One of the few heroes and items that was actually buffed in this patch. I guess while it seems like most of the time the Frog is nerfing meta, he's like, I haven't seen CK in a while. We'll give him a Phantasm buff. And his cooldown has been reduced from 145, 135, 125 to just 125 all levels. So it's 20 seconds sooner that you'll have Phantasm to take into a new fight or to a new lane or a new objective, which is, I guess that's a nice little addition for CK. I don't know if that was the sole purpose for the pick or if they just felt like this is the
No,
time to pull the CK out.
it's just really good versus Skywrath and lane. They wanted something to sustain, and the reason it's like usually when you have your fourth pick, you want to have an open core always in your draft because it's like obviously like we're casting. I wasn't really paying 100% attention, but it's like when you're drafting like this from second pick, it's just like it looks like it's an Ember mid and this Ember's countered, then we just throw him on the safe lane and pick another counter matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, it's like CK seems a lot better mid, so we're just gonna throw Ember in the safe lane. So you kind of want to always have this like open pick. This is how drafting is to kind of confuse the opponents sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
Is
me,
it?
casters.
Do you think that's more so this patch than any other patch? It does feel like that to me, at least. I don't know if that's because of the new drafting order with the 4 bans, with the not having as many bans available later on. Teams are just trying to pick flex picks and do these like last second swap arounds.
It's always kind of been like this. I think OG redefined that meaning. I mean, clearly, like we saw that in the True Site. Where Kuro was like saying something like, "What they're gonna do this, and they were all wrong."
Yeah.
About like this Tiny was a super popular pick. He was being played from position like 2, 3, and 4, and then you really never know what to do with it. So having open supports, open cores, it's always like when a pick can go support and a core, I think those are like the biggest like strengths in like a hero when they're that open in a draft.
That just says the hero has such a damn good toolkit that you can be effective with the hero if you have farm or not. And there are definitely heroes like that. I mean, I think Ember has been one of the more prominent ones as of recent, with having Ember's seen so much play in the 4 position and in the core position. It just shows that you can do so much with the hero. Obviously, plenty of other notable options in that to be dancing between the core role and the support role. But yeah, whether it be OG's influence or the patch, it certainly feels like a lot of teams are definitely becoming more flexible with who they play in what lane.
I'm trying to read his I guess it kind of got re-nerfed back because the reason why he was being able to play on support was because of the mana cost on his chains, and they reduced the cooldown, and then they just they changed the cool. Like if you scroll over Series change, you can kind of see the cooldown, and they kind of reverted it back.
Yeah,
except it's still pretty buffed because
to 8, and then they changed it right back up to 13. We're like, well, we don't want to change it exactly back, so we will take 1 second off. That because he can't look like he made a mistake. It's like, I'll just find the middle. I make
no mistakes.
Yeah, but he won't admit it or put it back. He's like, you know what? I'll just put the change right in the middle because that was the sweet spot. I just missed the sweet spot by 1 number. That's what it was. We'll see if that's going to be
the mana cost is still really nice, though. I think that's what really changes the aspect of this hero a lot in the early stage because it's like usually you use your combo once or twice. You're like, oh, I have no mana, boys. I'm out. Gotta regen.
What about the puck here and offlane puck? I don't think puck has really been changed at all in the patch. Puck has felt pretty off and on as a pick, mostly in here in the offlane if it kind of really works with the whole lineup that you already got going, or if you feel like you really need to lock a team down in a certain spot. Is puck just really that much of a niche pick, or is there something more to it?
It's a Skywrath mid, by the way, versus CK, which is like Skywrath is not going to have a good time. But this puck was just in. The pick was, I think, was for the Weaver. Like it was a response of the Weaver because they needed some sort of control.
Oh yeah.
And they had a Tuskar and they wanted a range hero, so it kind of like it combos with each other.
And it is going to be that 4-position Weaver as Heiko has it. He was playing that Tusk in the previous game. So he'll be by the side of Axe on this one to take it to the Ember lane. you mentioned already, the CK can outmatch the Skywrath Mage, and that is the match he's going to get in that mid lane. Fear to join top after assisting with the bounty runes. Brax on puck with moves.
Duster's just blocking, and then he's going to go bottom. Use his clarity a little too early. This Sky shouldn't be happy mid at all. Again, this is like a very favorable matchup for this CK, but what Skywrath can take out of this is get as many creeps as he can in the early game, get his levels, and being able to rotate on the side lane.
Yeah, the mid lane Sky seems to only really work if it's the last pick and you're taking it to like the Storm, or you knew that Ember was going to be the mid lane, then you can dunk on him for sure. But with the flexibility in these drafts, Business Associates have that last pick to just turn the tide onto him. So we'll have to see how detrimental this can be or not for Murdoch. It's an awkward laning matchup. I don't know how well versed either of these mid laners are in going against the CK or going against the CK, or going against the Skywrath Mage rather.
I think they should have just held off. I don't know if they just instantly picked, because it doesn't really show right in the screen, but it kind of matters like where like you kind of see if your opponents pick early, then because based off players, you know exactly where each of these heroes goes when you have these open picks. So you want to pick towards the very, very end.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they instantly picked and Business was able to adapt or not. That's maybe something that they can change in the drafting aspect of like keeping it unknown until like the game actually starts of what player picks what.
I don't know if I'd brought that up with you, but I know it was something that was brought up before. I think even like Will had mentioned it, that it should be something possibly considered as top lane. We do see the first blood. It's Fear and Ember running down and finishing off Heiko, and his little Weaver didn't have a Sakuchi to get away from that one.
Bottom lane died as well. Got a little greedy there, and Tuskar got his level 2 and instantly just sharded him and comboed him with the tag team there.
Wow, and suddenly Business Associates got 2 kills. But yeah, I know some people had mentioned that should be hidden possibly during the draft, the player assignments. It sounds like you think that would be nice to have also. Do you think most players agree? It sounds like it'd definitely be a quick switch up, and we would be seeing more teams trying to scout to the other side for information as the game began, which could be pretty hype.
Because if you pick early and like people are able to adapt and change, so like usually like the strategic part is like being ready to pick in the last like 5 seconds. Unless your opponent picks already, then you're able to pick. So that's kind of like the mindset like that kind of goes on within these teams. Some of these teams, when in the drafting aspect of when it finishes with all these open picks. When you don't have open picks, then it doesn't really matter, right? But in these cases, on both sides of the team, like CK was able to adapt and go mid. I think he should have been in the safe lane. But they realized, like, hey, this Murdoch is playing Skywrath. He's going mid. 9, your boy needs to play CK mid now.
Yep. Not something most CK players are probably used to, but okay, here we go. Top lane, they're committing in deep. Heiko wants to finish his play and does take down Moo. Call out from Sexy Fat as they try to surround Fear and poke him down a bit. But good.
Yeah, despite the first blood that who got it, Grimstroke ended up getting it. It doesn't. The CK is just completely free farming actually. I mean Axe. Sorry, I said CK. His CS is like 25 CS right now. He has his ring. He's actually going to be unkillable now.
Yeah, he was able to still do your side pull action and go in deep. Man, what is going on in this bottom lane? I really got to keep things focused down here because that is where thing goes out. But at that moment, top lane, we catch the back end of that Heiko takedown. Don't worry, I got that one though. Moo able to at least strike back in this top lane, getting the catch onto Weaver yet again. When Sexy Fat does step away from the lane or try to do a side camp or go for a pull, they are quick to jump onto the Weaver, recognizing that the Axe is not going to be readily available. Bottom lane again. RDO forced to tricks the tray, then jumps, catches Brax, and finishes him off. FURIA string together their second kill there.
Comeback mechanics a little different now. I don't know how that. I was gonna say they gave him all this lead just to take it all back and double the amount of gold and XP.
Mid lane, Murdoch getting jumped, and there's your first kill in the mid lane. 9 just running him down with that haste rune pickup. And yeah, it was something that was not mentioned yet. The comeback mechanic was changed before they nerfed down the gold, but now they've also addressed the XP too. And I know you in particular said that the XP was like really the big thing for that. And even though you don't get to see it on the screen, now it has been toned down a bit.
Oh, top lane here. Moo's getting gone on.
5-minute bounty skirmish. Moo has to step back. Ink swell from Fear. Able to slow down Sexy Fat a bit, but the chase is on. Now Murdoch looking to go in. Do they have a way to stop this TP? They don't need to. They have the damage. Murdoch is able to get the kill, rotating over, but it does leave 9 to his own devices in that mid lane.
Moo loses a lot out of this. He was debating to go back towards top, but the lane is pushing, and feels kind of awkward. So
yeah, he's got to run all the way back
actually, he feels really good on this top lane right now. He's going to be very, very fat this game. As long as Skyrath doesn't feed and he's like continuing, like he should leave this lane right now. He should have identified that he had to go back to base. This mid tower is losing a lot of pressure right now.
He's still hanging out up top. Maybe he just knows he can't hang at mid lane or something, but you know, that's like future Furia can deal with that CK later. We'll see how it goes. They're going to swell behind Sexy Fat in his bigness for now.
It's really good what business is doing, securing. They don't want a 2-man and 3-man and secure this tower.
It's a very valuable tower.
They need to send someone here.
Radiant's middle tower is under
nothing's going on the map for them.
Okay, there's Axe. They're gonna send in their biggest boy. And they're the 2 big titans are gonna go toe to toe. But the problem is that Axe is greatly outnumbered. Support staff has been waiting in the wings that whole time, and they didn't send anybody else. They just threw away their biggest farmed core on the team.
Honestly, Brax just made the most gorgeous rotation there, knowing that, you know, I'm going to bring 4 people. There's nothing for me to do bottom. I'm going to feel pressured.
And the rotations don't stop, you know, because 9 was already in that mid lane. He just TPs up to the top lane, and they get the jump onto Weaver. Finish him off.
Skyrath is going to die now. He
yes.
uses the CP.
Yes, it doesn't stop. The business associates are taking everybody to school now. Rolling on in mid lane, they take Murdoch. That's another core just going to be grabbed. The momentum they built up for themselves is going to start fading away if business just keep getting the upper hand in these fights.
The sad part is, like, they're using all of these CPs and they're dying, and now they have to walk back to the lane. In comparison, you know, business TPs in, like 9 TP top, and he gets a kill, and those, like, you feel good about it. And Skyrath, you know, has to run back to lane.
Man, they're going to kill the Weaver again. He was on that walk back you were just talking about.
He just TP'd mid lane and he had to walk, and now he's going to revive and have to walk back to the lane again. All their TPs are on cooldown now.
So much time going to be away from the XP and away from the farm. Now it's looking like some of the best thing going for Fury at the moment is RDO Ricky farming in this bottom lane. And Brax did shift away a bit for those ganks, which were very good and very critical, but you know,
this is making a fast play towards mid. They just dewarded top, so this Axe is gonna play a little scared, and immediately they start connecting over towards mid lane. And what business is actually doing really well is, like, these supports are just playing together. Like, they have this support synergy that just, like, no matter what, if they're running together, they're gonna do so much damage and so much pressure on the map, and they're gonna be able to kill just about anyone.
Ico mid lane. The second they see that bug, they pull out the raid and just kill it. Damn. Hard life for the 4-position Weaver in this one. It's 3 straight deaths for him. 9 just seems like a Goliath in this mid lane. No one should cross him.
Yeah, he's actually untouchable right now, and Ember is starting to be there. All of the space, like, Ember did not have the best laning stage, and they're making so much space. And look how much reaction that they're getting. They're just poking at these towers and getting these TPs and immediately backing off. So right now, business should be thinking about making the next play and making the next move. I think it should be towards bottom because Puck is going to be 6 and he's already holding a dust.
Oh, yeah. And if they have any dark horse potential on Furia, it's that Ricky. If they can somehow keep this Ricky in check, take out a tier 1 bottom lane, this game is just going
They should smoke now. They should feel good about it because they got a reaction towards mid and they got a TP already. And that person is not going to run bottom because you don't want to run into the safe lane. You want to be able to somewhat pressure the enemy carry.
Couldn't agree more.
I think...
Okay, there they go. Moose has the smoke, but they're not going to take CK with them. They're going to try to get it done with the 2 supports.
Yeah, they needed to bring their strongest hero, but I mean, it can still kind of work out. But obviously, I prefer like having your stronger. But these 2 supports do a lot of damage.
Oh, the supports are going to catch them on the way over, and they could be isolated here. Fear does get caught out from RDO. Moose snowballs over. There's the jump in now, though, from Brax, and they will use that as a small baited opportunity to turn things around onto RDO and finish them off. So good thing for BA. And they'll take Duster too. 9 rotates over. Moose here. They'll take the outpost. It's 10 seconds till the XP time. Heiko, though, is able to grab that top outpost, thankfully for Furia, so they can get a piece of that pie. Meanwhile, a chase on the Sexy Fat. Just as Business Associates were getting action at the bottom lane, they rotate all the way up north and will also get the Axe.
They're good plays from Business all around. They're reacting. You know, Ember even TP'd there to secure in case a team fight does break out, securing the outpost and also taking the bounty runes because he needed to refill his bottle there.
Fortunately, a bit awkward there for RDO to try to get that approach working through the Fissure. He also doesn't have a point in the smoke yet if he was hoping to lock down that puck. Meanwhile, you see Murdoch goes down mid lane. Moo able to get the last hit. It looks like he did have help from Moose in that Tusk. And
Murdoch overcommitted on these null talismans here. I think having this Rod of Atos is very game-changing. The fact that they have an Ember and a puck with a silence, you're going to almost always be able to burst them down no matter what. And despite, you know, being a core or whatever, just having another lockdown and threat for these heroes to be scared of.
And now they're looking to go for the tier 1 top lane. Leaving 9 out in front, knowing that they can comfortably do so and have the support staff nearby. Some FURIA members in the neighborhood, but not looking to fully commit. That's where bottom lane, we could see some shifts here. Brax committing the coil with rotations coming in. They should be able to get the jump and finish, and that's going to be Ricky falling yet again. Chase on for Duster. Snowball and Shard. He just throws out the dunk. Desperation.
Two TPs there, and they both cancel.
Okay, here we go, FURIA. They got to know. No, they don't. It's just Sexy Fat here left behind.
Activate your hood.
There he goes. High juke within the trees. Yeah, he's fine.
Oh, juked. Oh.
What about the tower, though?
Your boy Skywrath is here now.
Yeah, I don't think I've even seen a Mystic Flare yet. I'm ready, though.
Just dewarded them, so Business knows that they got a TP in Skywrath's top lane, so they're like, let's get out of here, or we're going to regroup, and I think they're going to decide to give up this tower. They're playing a little scared, but if FURIA is a little bit out of position, then they're going to be able to react. But they do know that they're going to overwhelm this top tower now. Puck is defend. He does have coil, actually. So what's up? So they're going to defend now. They're bringing everyone here.
There he goes with the coil. Catches onto the 2. Murdoch is nearby, but he's been spotted from the rotation over. Fissure to try to slow them down, but they'll finish off Murdoch. Sexy Fat trying to TP away. He makes it out. And a quick snipe of Duster pulls things at 3-20 now for Business Associates.
2 more kills for Business for the memes.
For the memes, baby. That's what it's all about.
Or 1 more kill for FURIA.
Or 1 more. Oh, yeah. That's the real dank stuff right there.
This was yesterday, man.
It's a shame. Yeah. Very uneventful 420, I'm sure, for everybody being stuck on lockdown. But I hope everybody's recovered today or feeling extra relaxed as we continue our Pro Series Dota action. Today and tomorrow, the last 2 group stage days, and then we get into playoffs.
This is like really sad for Axe. He had such a beautiful laning stage. Like he actually owned his lane, and he was like super snowballed. And through to some unfortunate circumstances, some fights that they took, and some positionings, it's like, you know, he lost the snowball. He was like top 1 net worth, highest CS. He's still highest CS, but his net worth is gone because of his deaths. His 2 deaths now.
And we're already looking at a position where FURIA can't even get too far outside the immediate base perimeter without threat of the Business Associate Sharks in the water right now. But they ward up on the nearby high ground and then quickly backpedal a bit. They caught out bottom lane Murdoch, or not Murdoch, RDO.
Oh, 1 more.
1 more for the memes. Here we go. Moose going in. Oh, they might get it here. Looks like Murdoch could be in trouble. Fissure save from Duster, and congratulations.
Congratulations.
3-22 for Business Associates.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's looking like another damn commanding game here. Sexy Fat hoping to turn around, gets the with a blink, could do blink calls and Skywrath ults to hopefully burst down some Business Associate members.
Yeah, this puck pick was such a good pick though, because I was like, if it wasn't for this puck, and I mean, if Ricky snowballed, like it would have been different. This puck has like a lot of control on this Ricky and what he can do in the team fights. I would say this is still a pretty decent Ricky game for them. But they just really need like this blink on Axe, and if this Axe finishes his blink and top lane here,
he's gonna die, and that blink will be prolonged. Duster throws out the Echo, trying to fend them off, but Business Associates standing strong and tall, all suited up and handsome, and they obliterate Heiko. That bug goes pop before he can even get the ulti off. Duster hiding within the trees, and he should be next to fall here. A double kill for 9. And yeah, these fun little picks like the CK, like the puck, just look so damn good in this game. I mean,
you
obviously,
look at this Skyrath as well, like his network as a mid player is like bottom 6 of the network chart. He just feels like another support hero.
yeah, without being able to snowball, without being able to, the reason you're picking him up, I feel is just like you're trying to command over a lane real hard. And they went in with the intentions, it looks like, of having that core Skyrath one-on-one lane matchup. Certainly they won't get something like the CK and put him in the mid lane. Nah, Business have that flexibility. They pull out the 10th pick counter, throw it into the lane against Skyrath, and just totally take him out. So he becomes a total non-factor. FURIA try to fall back on the Axe, on the Ricky, but like you were already talking about before, even though Axe had this glorious laning phase at the top lane, he makes that first rotation to the mid lane and just gets popped.
GG called.
And I don't blame him for it. It had been a clinic here from Business Associates team, and we're already done with our first series of the day.
Wow. That was just, yeah. I mean, I think the biggest liability of this game was honestly the Skyrath. It's because the way that they picked him didn't really make sense, right? They have I remember how Liquid, Weehaw was one of the best players to play this hero, and if you don't snowball this hero, you just basically don't have a game because his comeback mechanics are way too weak. He doesn't have very strong split push. He can't really clear waves. He's a lane dominator, and if he doesn't dominate his lane and he's playing from behind, it's just another support hero, and that's what it came out to be. And I think it was just, and then the Shaker 5 really didn't do much either. But for the rest, it's this Ricky was a good pick. Top lane kind of destroyed, and they were just really outmaneuvered and moved by Business and their rotations. And the 5-minute siege honestly just changed the game entirely. Business overwhelmed the tower with 3 people, then puck connected with 4 people, then one by one they were TPing in, got the tower, and they just started getting kill after kill after that.
It just seems like the drafting phase can be so volatile, especially if you do not have that last pick. You really just can't go all in with some cheeky counter lane dominator pickup like that. You have to keep things flexible to a degree unless you do have the final say.
Unless it's like a Storm Spirit or a Shadow Fiend, these heroes that are it feels awkward to put on the side lane. Yes, you can because you've seen it. Fanatics run Shadow Fiend off lane, EGs run Storm Spirit safe lane, but it's
they don't want to do that.
Maybe you don't, because you do it because it's you don't want this hero to get destroyed, right?
Yeah.
And so it changes. Now it changes what the opposing team has to do. But it's at this aspect, Business had very flexible drafts, which was easy to do. So it doesn't really change much, and it doesn't really confuse you either. So, yeah.
So props to Business Associates with that win. That puts them at an even record with some of the other teams. Here, I can hit a couple buttons and show everybody the standings. Actually, the standings are probably not going to be super updated. I need to update those now, which I can do. I'm just going to give Business the 4-3 record. There we go. And
Business the business.
Give Business the business. They are in that top 4. They will be in the upper bracket. They are 4th because they have the head-to-head wins over. Oh, it doesn't even matter because they got the win. Thunder Predator and Cloud9 are still going to be in that 5th and 6th spot. They will move on into playoffs, but have to play through the lower bracket. But there is still some big things at stake here as we see Crazy and Quincy Crew at the top. Quincy Crew is going to be playing next up against Beast Coast, and that does matter a little bit for both teams. Probably more so for Beast Coast if they're hoping to at least finish 7th over 8th, which I believe there is a little bit of a prize money difference. They're going to try to score a win there to hold a 7th place position. For Quincy Crew, whether they win or lose, they still have a chance tomorrow up against Crazy to hold the 1st place position. So because the head-to-head and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So we'll have to see. Should be an exciting one, though. Hopefully not going to end up the same as we see here, but, I imagine Quincy Crew are going to be going to the next series as favorites. Do you have any closing thoughts for this series, Demon, before we do move on?
Not much. I'm honestly just looking forward to watching business play on. Obviously, it's my boys, so cheering for them in the playoffs. Aside from that, it's not much.
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and take a bit of a break. Now, we are on a rolling schedule, so we should hopefully get this next game underway in about 20 minutes or so. So everybody take a bit of a hiatus, get a snack or something to eat, open up a cold Monster, as I will do, as we get prepped and ready for our next series. Don't go too far. More Beyond the Summit Pro Series action coming your way.